World War III has never been closer than it is right now. World War III has never been closer than it is right now.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Ruach. Those are the only and original names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. Yahweh means He is, He exists. Yahweh Shah means He delivers and He saves. Ruach is the Holy Spirit. Double honor for the apostles who taught us this 100% truth of the Holy Bible through the Spirit of Yahweh Shah. And these men were regenerated back in the latter times together in the hopeful elect out of the nation of Israel that only consists of the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called natives. That's all from the Father's bloodlines. Shalom out there to the brothers that teach, preach, and prophesy through the Spirit of Yahweh Shah. Shalom out there to the brothers and sisters that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. That's part of this 100% ministry. May the Lord continue to add peace upon you. This is Amna wa Allah coming back at you again, hopefully with another edifying lesson through the Spirit of Yahweh Shah. Okay? And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee. You see? Indispensable parts. Right? Let's go ahead and set the tone. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians. Let's go to chapter 12. Let's start at verse 4. We're going to read verses 4 to 6. Let's start it off. All right? Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. See? And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. Verse 6. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh all in all. You see? There are many believers, many members, right? Even with positions and gifts within this 100% ministry. And we're speaking about the body of Yahweh Shah. Okay? We're speaking about the church. You may be the heart, but you're not the lungs, you're not the kidneys, you're not the liver. You see, there are many other parts. It's all about the pure and true doctrine. You see? And we give reverence to those men that were ordained from the beginning to come back on earth in these latter times to deliver out the 100% truth of these scriptures. You see? But there are many other parts, many other functions of the body of Yahweh Shah. It doesn't just sit right there at the heart. You see? The heart pumps the blood throughout all the organs. But it needs a vein, it needs a valve. It needs the muscles, it needs all these things to make it their mission complete for real. You see? It's like your body functions may not be noticed, right? Those men that teach, preach, and prophesy out here, and even the congregation, because there is a congregation. It may seem to go unnoticed, but it's only going unnoticed to men with carnal eyes. It's not going unnoticed to those men with spiritual eyes, and definitely not Yahweh Shah, because He made you. He made you to, when you heard the truth, when the blood was pumping, right? You went on and opened your valve, opened your artery, right? Open your organ. Whatever function you got going on in the body, you went on and open it up so that blood can come through, that spirit can come through. So you can be able to function the way He put you to function. You see? It's like we interconnect, right? Where we're forming some type of earthly entity with Yahweh Shah being our head, the brain. And what does the brain do? The brain coordinates the functions, the systems of the body to do this and that, right? Also to produce growth. And what is Yahawashi doing? This is the way he is nourishing us, right? He is providing us those essentials so that we can see the reason of things, the reasoning of things, you see? Well, we have that willpower, we have that strength, we have that knowledge, we have that wisdom, we have that discipline, so that we can stay healthy, right? So that what? No, so that the body can stay healthy. See? No body part. Matter of fact, let's just speak on the spleen. Who speaks on the spleen of the body? You know, everybody will believe that, you know, the heart and the lungs play the major factors of the body. But it's not, it's the brain. And I hope no brother out there, no man out there think that they the brain. You see? Because if they think that they the brain, then that means they have powerful spirit in them. You got to be careful in that. You got to be very careful in that. You know? So what about that spleen? Nobody speaks about the spleen in the Bible. They speak, not the Bible, the human body. They speak all these other arteries, all these other organs, all these other body parts. But not recognizing and understanding that little organ, right? It plays a crucial part in the lymphatic and the immune systems, right? It filters the blood as well. See how that go? So you may think that your body part, your function in this truth, just because you're in a congregation or you don't belong to a group, you know. But remember what the scripture said. We go with the scripture. You see? The eye can't tell the hand, I have no need of thee. You see? You serve your purpose. You're serving your purpose. You see? So you can't tell another body part, they're no good to the body. And as we go through the lesson, we're going to see that. Because we're going to understand that no body part is insignificant. No body part is redundant. No body part is useless. You can't just cast them away. Some years ago, while I'm at the beginning of the healthcare profession, you know, we ran across a term, and it was called indispensable weak part. You know? And we're going to get into that term through the Spirit, you know, and as we go through the lesson, that what? The eye cannot tell the hand, I have no need for thee. Stop it. That means that eye has a spirit of pride upon them, you know, and that eye needs to get itself together if that's what it's portraying. You see? He's letting you know that all the body parts are really equal. You may have a certain thing that you got your body function where it does a particular major type thing. Okay, cool. But if the body to work 100%, when you saying you are 100% healthy, that means all the organs will have to work. So if you would dismiss or act as though them certain body parts don't even add up to your standard or add up to whatever you got going on, then that means the body is some form of division. It's some form of, you know, and this is not what the body of Yahawashi consists of, division. That's for the enemy. That's not for us. Let's go ahead on and we're going to stay in the book of 1 Corinthians, okay? And we're going to jump to chapter 14. Salakia, verse 14. All right? For the body is not one member, but many. You see? The body of Yahawashi is not just, you know, you have different forms of professions out here in the world. that make Edom's kingdom turn. You know, they had to have a system. They had to have a police system. They had to have a hospital. You know, they had to have somebody that's going to sell houses. They had to have somebody that's going to build houses. You see? That makes up their body of unity, of making their system, making their, whatever they have going on, flow. It's the same as the body of Yahushua. Same as your own human body that he created. See? Verse 14. For the body is not one member, but many. Right? If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? Let's see, first of all, matter of fact, let's keep reading the 16. And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? So you have body parts that were made from the potter, the one who created everything. They're speaking like they're the creator, like they're the ones, right, that can distinguish you from life and death, or functioning, or moving around in the body. They're setting themselves up a little higher than they're supposed to be, because they're not only that, they want to separate themselves from everybody else. Right? Let's read it again. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? No, hand. You play a specific role. No, foot, you play a specific role. You are part of the body. You can't exclude yourself unless you do wicked. We're speaking spiritual now. You can't put yourself in unless the Lord puts you in. See? There's nothing you can say to anybody else. There's nothing you can say to yourself in a manner where just make sure you are playing the role and doing the role that you're supposed to do. Because you don't need to be worrying about in a specific form where what is the pancreas doing, right? What is the liver doing? You doing your part. You did your part. You're still doing your part, right? Because these certain particular organs may have, got sick, fell off a little bit, might have said some things, as if you don't say things or you don't do things like as if your organ doesn't skip a beat every now and then, right? Now you're not respecting that. See? And as we read on further down, we're going to see what the Lord says about that and feels about that. See? If they're down, they come out way, they say something out the way, they do something out the way, you're supposed to reel them back in. Maybe they did make a mistake. And they recognize it. You see? They got sick. See? Read this again. Verse 15, 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 15. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? Because you're saying things, but you didn't make this. You didn't start yourself. Verse 16, and if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, am I not the body? Is it therefore not of the body? So are you saying because, the time period that, things come to the scene, things begin to ripen, yet you've been that same tree, that same oak tree, those same, parts off of the oak tree for a little while, as if you're better than what the Lord is still bringing to existence? or already has inside of the body to do their work. You see? Verse 17, if the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? You see that? So every body part, if you come to, as we go back, it's all about the doctrine, the truth, the 100%, the pureness of these scriptures. If we're displaying, if we're teaching this Bible correctly, we giving the people what thus saith the Lord, and we abiding by those things. We're not being a hypocrite. You see? Or we're not making ourselves holier than thou art. If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? So each body part, each function of the body of Yahweh Shai, they have different tasks. They have different functions out here. You know, think about this right here. Dealing with the 100% ministry. You're going to have those that, you know, started it, okay? Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, not by them, right? And they're going to do their job. They did their job, and they're doing their job, right? That's the heart. They put the blood out. And all the organs, as we said earlier, right? But then you have the organs, and you know what I'm saying, that has other functions for the body to operate. And they out there doing those things. Because that blood is the 100% pureness of the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. See? But guess what? You're not realizing that there's still other members other than those particular organs that we speak about when things happen. You see? Let's go to verse 18. But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them, in the body as it had pleased him. Verse 19. And if they were all one member, where were the body? Verse 20. But now are they many members, yet but one body? You see that? Let's go back to 18. Because really to let you know, verses 18 through verses 20, right? That's the divine placement, okay? That's exactly how he designed us. He did that. Let's read this again. But now, this is verse 18, 1 Corinthians chapter 12. But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it hath pleased him. He set these body functions up. He set the men up to do whatever needs to be done, as long as it's in the body, as long as it's functioning, and every member of the body is satisfied and is complete. He's not with all that chaos. He's not with all the division. He's not with all that getting in your feelings because, you know, things happen, things been said, whatever type of thing like that. You gotta watch what you say sometimes, man. That's for everybody. I say that to myself. This is why we speak through the Spirit. We don't watch things. We done seen things. We done seen how men move. We done seen how men respond to things, right? So we watch what we say. And how do we do that? We make sure we're doing the extra. What is the extra? Make sure you stay in these scriptures 10 times more than you did before. Let the Spirit move through you. So a lot of men believe that the Spirit be talking through them, you know. But in actuality, you know, it really don't. It really don't. And it's real men that really actually do what thus saith the Lord right here, right? We can tell. We see. We hear. You know? And everything's it's not meant to be responded on. You know? We let it play its course. Because we see things that are way further than the average eye, the average spirit. But we don't sit and boast about it. We don't sit up there and do this and that. We bring it out like every now and then like we doing right now. To let you know that, you know what I'm saying, there's still towers out here. Okay? There's still members of the body out here. You can't exclude nobody. You can't dismiss anybody. You can't dismiss anybody that's teaching and preaching and prophesying the true doctrine. You see what I'm saying? Simple, man. You know, we ain't out here. You know, we love the brothers. You know, we love everybody. We love the sisters that's part of this 100% ministry sincerely, though. We speaking of the body of Yahawashi, not no particular, you know. We speaking of the whole family, the whole body, the whole everything. The whole Angela. You see? Verse 18. But now had the Most High set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it had pleased him. He did this, man. So why would you hate on a fellow member? Why would you want to see the downfall of another fellow member that believed that could have just strayed off for a second? We speaking of any brother or any brother that's in the truth. That when I say in the truth, meaning this right here, this right here. In order to be in the truth all the way, man, you can't have no secret hatred, man. You can't have no secret hatred against another brother like that for real, man. Come on, man, you fooling yourself, man. You're not fooling the Most High. You're not fooling us, man. You see? Those brothers that been through their life, been hated on, we know what hating is. We see it firsthand. We're going to see it. Especially if you up in age. Come on, man. Verse 19. And if they were all of one member, where were the body? Right. The members make up the body. Form like Voltron. Those brothers that know what we're speaking about, even with the Transformers. Those in the next part of it. You know what I'm saying? We form like Voltron, the human body. You see? The spiritual body, the body of Yahawashi. Verse 19. And if they were all one member, where were the body? But now many members, yet one body. You see that the Lord keep emphasizing it's many members, man. It's many members. You know? A lot of, to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying, and we respectfully what's being said, you know, certain brothers, you know, really don't have to watch the news like that, because the Lord bless our men. You know, the men is part of the body, that's part of that particular ministry, right? They give the news to us. They give the news to the whole flock. And that's their ministry, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, because we knowing that with that news, it's going to break these scriptures down too, and it's going to show prophecy is real. You don't got to depend on that cracker for anything, that devil for anything, man. Or you need these other wicked Negroes, Latinos, and natives that want to follow along with Esau, Edom. You know what I'm saying? This, as we said earlier, this is like an earthly entity, with Yahawashi being first. He's the brain. He's the head of us down here on earth. We're the arms, we the legs, we all of that. You see? Verse 21. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, you see that? The eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee. Nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. You see what I'm saying? So, we're not just going to be sitting out here, you know, not giving reverence to the foot or to the hand or to the heart or to the liver or to the kidney. You see, we're not going to do that to the muscles, to the veins, to the tissue. You see, we're not going to do that. You know, it's a form of mutual honor and respect. Verse 22, nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. You see that? Let's read that again. Let's read that again. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 22. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. You see what I'm talking about? That's when we went back to the conversation we spoke of earlier through the Spirit, dealing with the spleen. See, they are necessary. All body parts, anything the Lord put together to come up under this umbrella of the 100% ministry is necessary. It's significant. You see? They're not redundant. Okay, you're not useless. No matter what man say, you know, man be in their feeling. You know, man be in their feeling. Man don't like to accept there's certain roles. They might want to be the lung. They might want to be the pancreas. You see? But the Lord made you who you are. Accept that, or the Lord can't, you know, because maybe if it was meant to be, you know, it is what it is. That's why we all, including myself, we got to watch what we say. Watch how we conduct these things and say these things. You know? This is a what? A mutual honor, respect thing. When you're what? Recognizing and understanding each other's role out here. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor. You see that? And our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. You see that? Let's go to verse 24, then we're going to break it all down together. For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked. You see that? Remember, at the end of the day, we still supposed to be out here fishing for men. You know, certain men may not know how to come up to you dealing with this truth. Wasn't no coincidence that somebody may walk past your camps or talk to you wherever you at, and you got to bring the truth out. But know how to do the thing. And you listen, like what we said again. If we knowing if you a demon, because if you listen, try the spirit the way. How about try the spirit without pride? How about that? How about go to their level for a minute of understanding and bring them up to your level of understanding as you bring out the scriptures to them. The doors of mercy ain't closed. The Lord didn't blow that trumpet yet. You see? Let's read this again. Verse 23. And those members of the body which we think be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor. And our comely parts have more abundant comeliness. For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked. So you as a bigger or a form of, you know, more radiant brother or sister, you're supposed to understand that first of all, teaching the flock in this time period, because you still have some elect out there that still has the mindset of the American nigger, so they may come across niggerish, but you won't have to know in the spirit if the Lord dealing with you at that particular time, you know how to conduct it. If not, you know, it's going to show. It's going to show. Okay, when he's speaking about verses 22 and 24, he's speaking about the rejected, all right, the slandered, the hated. Read it again. Verse 22 and 24. And those members of the body which we think be less honorable. Okay? We're speaking of the uncomely, the unrighteously judged. Okay? We're speaking of what? The pancreas, the pineal gland, the appendix, the gallbladder. You see? The spleen. Your body part dealing with your toes. They small. Your fingers. Your nose. Your eyes. But look at what all of these things serve. That the Lord set up from the beginning. Okay, verse 25. That there should be no schism in the body. What is schism? Division. You know, all under the same umbrella, teaching the same pure doctrine, believing in the same thing, under the same body of Yahushua. Why is this member of the body saying, as the eye say, I have no need for you? Why is that? Why is the eye saying that? Why is the hand saying that? You see? The Lord said he doesn't want any schism. That's division. Separation from the truth. He formed all of us together. And if he formed all of us together, Who are you to sit up in and cause division? The eye cannot tell the hand, I have no need for thee. You could just be pumping the blood. You see? Verse 25. That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care for one another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Hold on a second. Let's start right there before we even finish 26. Go back to 25. That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care for one another. You see that? You know? We know that there's partiality in certain groups. We know that. We see that. We've experienced that. You know? We know that there's certain hatred inside groups. Okay? We understand all of that. Inside of organs, inside of body parts. The hand is jealous of the foot. The hand feels some way about the foot because the hand feels as though the hand is lifting everything and the foot is just walking. You can't tell me what to do. We don't really have a use for you because all we can do is lift things. We can put you in the wheelchair. He don't need his feet. You see that? That's that pride. We see all of that, man. Whether you want to accept it or not, we see all of that. See? We see how certain organs and body parts respond to things. You see? But those type of behaviors is not corresponding with what thus saith the Lord. You dig? And we're going to continue to call it out whether you like it or not. You see? If, you know, let's keep moving. Verse 25 again. That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care for one another. You know what I'm saying? Not no self-independent. We got this, we done this, we started this, we busy, blase, whatever. You know you got men that's not even part of that, the thing that you started, that's out here doing the same thing. And do you know you have a congregation out here? That's the muscles, those the tissues, those the veins. Okay? Do you know that you have they hear everything? You see? They hear everything. You know? So if you knowing that, you know, that nothing you can say, nothing that anybody can say to you is going to dictate your mood, your speech, the way you move around. If you already knowing that in your spirit, and whatever reprovement comes, rebuking comes, or you know, just correction out of love, of course, out of love. Whenever that comes about it, but you feel you get offended by it, right? Then that's right there letting you know that's pride, that's pride, and that's a spirit. And let this be a cautionary tale that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai set up many kings, many priests, many leaders, okay, many judges upon this earth, and they ended up what? Getting pride and falling and failing. Things be all in the due time. And we don't wish that upon no Negro, no Latino or Native that's a so-called leader. You know? We just hope that whatever they have going on, they repent from that and keep it moving. You see? It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out thing. Because the eye cannot tell the hand, I have no need of thee. You are not the brain. You are not the head. You did not create yourself. You did not create the lung or the liver to dismiss anything. You see? Verse 26. And whether one member suffer, all members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all members rejoicing with it. You see? The bottom part of that, we rejoice that we received 100% truth. It was through, you know, the ordained men or whatever like that. Okay? But then things may happen. But the heart feel as though, you know, a certain way. So when it's time to be, rebuked or ridiculed or provoked or anything like that. We rejoice with the honor of understanding this truth through those men, through the Spirit, right? But when it's something negative or something happens, they're not. It's not a brotherly love, the brotherhood. When you just looking at you have a tunnel vision, just thinking about those that are in that circle. When you have the scripture says it's many members, right? There's many functions out there. Watch this. Let's prove this. Watch this. Let's finish it out right here. Verse 27 to 28. No, let's just do it on verse 27, 28. Now ye are the body of Hamashiach, and members in particular, right? And the Most High, verse 28. And the Most High has set some in the church, first apostles, secondary prophets, 30 teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversity of tongues. You see that? Now, he's letting you know that within something, he set up an order, which is all fine and dandy. But you're looking over the first part. He said he set some. So that means where are the others? That means that's the congregation. That's the veins. Those the muscles. Those the tissues that you want to overlook. That could be the pancreas. That could be the gallbladder, right? That can be any other small organ in the body that plays a significant role that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai says he honoreth to a certain degree, a little more. Just a little more. You see? So basically, in the body of Yahweh Shai, it's only going to consist of the umbrella of those that are under the 100% truth. Those that are doing and what is required of this pure doctrine that was given to us. You see? So whether you be in a group, whether you be in a camp, whether you're part of the congregation, whether you're part of a group, whether you're part of a camp, if you're doing what you're supposed to do under the 100% ministry, the doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, then you should be okay with Yahweh Shai. You don't have to worry about when men get in their feelings and say things that, So just remember that your function, your body, and your role in this body, right, is significant as well. It is not redundant. It is not useless. It is not insufficient. You see? It all serves its purpose under the body of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy, the spirit of truth. And with that being said, I want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakadash. And until next time, Shalom.